So what the game plan is today is replacing this axle. I broke both bleeder nipples off on the nipples, so I have gone to town yesterday and I bought new bleeder nipples. So we're going to try to drill both those out, get them out. I don't know, with an easy out, or I don't know. We're just going to try to drill them out to begin with and then try our best to get them out. I have done this in the past, but I have had to retap them. We'll see how this goes, but basically to this point now, we're just going to replace these broken axles. I did manage to find a Camry axle. Now, the problem with this is, I don't know if this is new body Camry or old body Camry. Now, this is a new body car, but we're running an old body motor and transmission and axle setup. So if that's an old body axle, all I have to do is put it into the side. But if that is a new body axle, the actual cone that goes into the transmission is a different size. And because I'm unable to remove the passenger side cone without taking that motor mount out, we'll have to go over to the driver's side, pop it right out of the transmission, pop that one in, and then take the driver's side axle and put it on this passenger side. I'm really hoping that we don't have to do that, but that's what we might have to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to undo everything to get this passenger axle out, which is these 22mm bolts that hold the top of the strut, the bottom of the strut to the top of the spindle. We're going to pull off the axle nut, and then we're just going to pry it down and try to pull that axle out. Now this should come out no problem because it is actually already broken. So if you guys don't know, broken stuff comes out a lot easier in two pieces than it does in one. Well, I've let this axle heat up against the fire for about 35-40 minutes now. And I want the rubber, the reason I did that is because I want the rubber to be flexy enough to put over top of that old boot that's in there. And a lot of you guys are going to ask me, why am I taking the axles apart like this? And it's because the inner side is very, very difficult to take out. So most people, to change these 4-cylinder Toyota Camry or Soalra motor axles, just pull out the cup and put a new one in. Just got to make sure that everything's in there good and you have a lot of lubrication in there. Now I'm really hoping that this slides into there. Pretty sure this is an old body axle. Yeah. Damn. This is a new body axle because it won't go in. Well, I guess let's take the other side apart. Well, I really wasn't planning to take both sides apart to do an axle just on the passenger side, but I guess that's what I'm going to have to do. So I think this will be a good test for the axles in the Demolition Derby ring, because now that we have one old body style axle, we're going to have that on passenger side, and we're going to have a new body axle on driver's side. I think this will give us quite a test to see what axle may actually be stronger. So now with the driver's side axle out, we can put the axle from the other side into this side. And I don't know, I think it's going to be pretty easy, to be honest. Just put it in there, give it a couple love taps. Now, you guys might see me hitting the ends of these shafts with a hammer, but it's actually a brass hammer. And the reason why you use brass is because brass is a very soft metal, and then instead of damaging the threads and the ends of that shaft, it will actually damage the hammer first. So if you're going to be hitting something that you'd want to put a nut back on, make sure you guys use a brass hammer. We're also going to lubricate the inside of this spindle. It's pretty hot still, but we're going to use anti-seize because we do want that axle to slide around, and when this car is done, we want it to be able to take that axle back out and save it. So I'm going to put some anti-seize on these so that it's easy removal next time for when it has to be removed. The next problem that we're going to address on this car is the brakes. Just so you know, I put this back together, no real problems. I ended up using the axle nut from the other side because I actually had to damage this one to take it off. I had to heat it with the torch and then hammer it with a screwdriver to actually almost break the nut in half. So it's pretty much useless, and it was stripped to begin with. So now I got a new nut and it's all back together. What our problem with our brakes is our bleeder nipples are broke off inside the calipers. Now this is a very common issue, especially up here in Canada with the vehicles getting higher kilometers and older. Now I just went to try to bleed them, tried to break them open, and they sheared right off. Now I went on Rock Auto and I priced out new Toyota calipers. Just the caliper itself is all I wanted. Cheapest ones I could find were $42. It's really not that big a cost to go buy brand new ones. But then I looked for just the bleeder nipples, and these bleeder nipples were 13 cents a piece. So I said, you know what, let's go into our closest Napa store and see how much they are. They were $1.30 at our closest Napa. That is 10 times more than what it was at Rock Auto. So I said, you know what, I kind of want these parts right now, so I'll buy them. And I've done this before, and I wouldn't really recommend this for a daily driver because it kind of leaks a bit, but it's good enough for a demolition derby. What we're going to do is we're going to take the drill, and we're going to try to slide it right down the center of that bleeder nipple and drill it out. And then, I got a tap. These are 6x1 thread count. So I have a 6x1 tap right here. Now I do have a bottoming tap. If you guys want to buy taps while you're at Napa or CarQuest or any place that you buy your auto parts stores, just get them to get you a tap for it as well. And if you're there, get them to get you a drill bit as well, because you kind of need the right size drill bit. So what I've done is I've gone through my drill index and I found the right size drill bit that I need, and I found the right size tap, and I have the new bleeder nipple. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill this one out, we're going to tap it out once we have it drilled, and then we're going to screw in the new bleeder nipple. Now, the great thing about this is if you just put brake fluid in your reservoir, you don't want those brake shavings to go into the caliper. So as you're drilling, the pressure from the brakes just dripping down with gravity will actually shove fluid out as you're doing it, which will take your shavings out and lubricate it, so you don't have to really put any outside lubrication into it. So let's get this done, and then I'll show you guys it all put together. We have the bleeder nipple in now, and oh, that's still a little warm. Ooh. But all we have to do now is put the other side back together, and then I'll tell you what else we have to do. Well, now that we got that done, what we can do now is we can put some brake fluid into this car, and then I think I'm going to have to go wake up Cassandra to come back here and help me bleed these brakes. But I can put some brake fluid into the car. Now one thing I can do, and that I'm going to do, is I'm going to loosen off the bleeders. And that way, hopefully that gravity will kind of bring down the fluid to here, so we don't actually have to pump the pedal as much. Hopefully it helps. Well, I got the wife up. Come on, honey. Up and in.
Up and up.
Yes, honey. All the axles are fixed. My lovely wife came out and we bled the brakes. What we're going to do now is we're going to move this car, because this car here is pretty much done for the hoist. It still needs little things like little pieces of the cage put in and electrical, but as of right now, it's pretty much done. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Project NUKEM and we're going to take it out of the shop and we're going to basically put it right over to where Project Infected is sitting. And what that means is the hoist will be freed up for Infected, and basically the heated spot in the garage will be kept for Project NUKEM. And the reason for that is just because this car is pretty much done on the hoist. So let's get it down and let's get it switched over there, and we'll get Infected ready to come on over here. Well, now that we have Project NUKEM over here and we have Infected over there, this is probably going to be the last that you're going to see of NUKEM for a bit, because as of right now, this is the last one to be derbied. Infected is going to be before NUKEM, and Project Heartbeat, which is still outside, is before both of these. So what we got to do left of this one is wiring, windshield out, paint it, and get the driver and passenger door shut. But other than that, this car is pretty much done. Project Infected, on the other hand, is a little bit different. That whole car has been built on the ground up until this point. That will be going up in the air very shortly. It still has a factory gas tank in it, so that's got to come out. It's still got the factory exhaust system on it, so that's got to come out. It still has all the fender wiring. It still has a lot of stuff on it that has to come out, and that will be the project that we're going back to, is Project Infected. But as of right now, this car's pretty good. We've got our Camry fender on this side. We got our Soalra fender on the other side. NUKEM is doing quite good. I bled the brakes. I'm not sure if we still have brakes. We'll have to figure that one out. We got all of our threaded rod in it. Basically, this car is doing a lot better than what that car is. What's left to do to this one is pretty simple, pretty basic. So thanks for watching, guys. And Project NUKEM is going to be put on the back burner for quite a bit now. Maybe the next month or so, while we get Infected ready. And then once Infected is ready, then we got to get Project Heart Attack in here. and get Project Heart Attack ready, because it is still missing a lot of things. And what I might do for that is I might put Infected up as high as it can go on the hoist, and then drive Heart Attack underneath it. So that way I can have 3 Camrys in the shop here, so I can get working on all 3 of them at once, and that way they're all out of the cold. But we'll see. Maybe I'll throw one of these out there. I'm not sure as of at this point yet. But thanks for watching, guys. And what do you think of the Camry collection that we got going here? I don't know. I'm pretty proud of it. Thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you come back tomorrow for more Zach's Workshop. See you guys tomorrow.